Terrific. I'm excited to get on a boat.
Yeah, yeah, can't go wrong with the boat. Should be a good time. Um, and you got a dad segment today. I'm excited about that.
Yes. And I got a proposal for you.
A proposal. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that within the dad segment or is that for right now?
No, it's gonna come right now.
Okay, what's that
Are you are
proposal?
you are you ready to be proposed to?
It's happened to me once this week.
Really?
Well, not necessarily. It was like a joke from a friend of mine, like I haven't seen in years, and the joke, after you turn 30, like, if you're not married to anybody else, it's time to get like, we get married to each
Yeah,
other.
no, yeah. Like, was that a pre-existing bargain? Did
That
that,
Yeah, and we joked about it when we went out for coffee the other day. It was pretty silly.
but you didn't get married?
No, I did not get married. No, I don't believe in marriage.
Yeah, probably not like really, probably just another system of control.
Exactly. I
Um,
don't want to I don't hate somebody enough to make them committed to me. No, anyway.
Here's what I'm proposing.
What you got?
Let's do a crossover episode. I've started a podcast.
Yes.
This is the crossover episode.
Crossover episode.
I do want to talk to you on my podcast, which is called Maybe We'll Talk,
Okay.
which may be like a Saturday when sometimes we hang out. Maybe I'll have a
Yeah.
topic that we can talk off stream.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of because it's a little bit of a different format. This
Yeah.
obviously is more visual, and I've kind of already, this will be the third, it'll be like the 2.5 episode. It'll be
Mm-hmm.
episode 2.5 of what I'm doing. And maybe, I don't know exactly how I'm going to format because I do have an ongoing topic right now, but we'll see. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, this is more visual. So
Mm-hmm.
what I was saying is that I've already talked about on the podcast I'm doing that I should have a supplementary thing you can go to where you can see, the images I'm talking about, which maybe we'll do in the future. But because this is going to be more of that kind of thing, I mean, eventually, hopefully, I'll talk to you many times on my podcast, which will be very popular. Right?
Yeah, I'd be stoked for it, man. That sounds great.
So great. Oh, and the other thing is if
Yes.
you have, I assume you have audio files of the two like intro songs that you use.
Yeah.
If you could get those to me somehow, either via Drive if they are too big to be on Discord or any way
Oh no,
that you
they're
can.
like 30 seconds long. Yeah, I'll
Yes.
send those off to you for sure.
That'll be awesome. This will be great. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do like I almost feel like I might do like a point 0.5 episode, like I said, like I'll do the vampire ones I'm doing, and then in between I might do the other people I'm talking to. But we'll see.
Ooh, vampires. Sounds fun.
It'll be great. Yeah, we've talked about Vampire the Masquerade, you and I.
Yes, we did. Very
It's
briefly.
a role-playing
Role
game.
playing
Yeah,
game,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. That's the first thing I'm covering with my friend Saint from Discord.
Oh yeah, I love Saint Man. He's cool. He's cool. Yeah, I saw that you all posted the first couple episodes. I haven't been paying attention to Discord.
Hey Ben,
Yeah.
yo, I haven't been paying attention to the internet at large, and sometimes and sometimes I'm being rude by not paying attention to what the people I'm working with are doing. So I mean,
I know. I
so
feel like
same
that too.
here,
I feel like that too.
same, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
No,
Yeah.
it's I mean, there's a thick like obligation to be like active on the internet, especially even though it's silly. Like I really feel like there's a debt every time I like post some like massively, send out a massive invitations on Facebook or something for people to look at my shit or post something on Twitter that I want people to tweet that I'm saying, everyone come look at me and give me money. Every time I do that, I feel like I am incurring a debt that I will not repay by actively engaging with other people's content and stuff as much. But I like listening to podcasts and I like doing
Yeah.
this, what we do. So, I mean, there's a few things I am into, and whatever can hold my attention gets that golden donut.
Golden donut.
So on Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, you and I
Hmm.
talk to each other on Twitch about things that are weird. Thrash Kieshu, twitch.tv/Thrash Kieshu. Do you want to, is there anything else you want to say about the stuff you do on your stream, or would you like to save plugging for the end?
Oh, I guess we can talk about that. So that basically, it's a I've kind of turned it into a sort of rompy kind of
A
theme show.
traveling oddities show.
Traveling oddity show. I like that a lot. Yes,
Yeah.
we are the internet traveling oddity show. We we transcend through time and space. We take hallucinogens by watching weird videos of cats giving birth.
Boy, that was a mean trick you played on me that
I did
time. I'm still gonna show you the strange thing I saw one time when you least expect it.
I still stand. I did not mean to do that on purpose. It looked like just a couple. It literally looked like B-roll of a bunch of cats just being together. And I must have cut like I must have like fast forward through the video
Yeah,
a little
you
bit too
could have like
quickly.
write the perfect.
Time
Yeah,
past the birthing section of the video, and I was like, oh, this will be like a cute thing, and because it like it's completely not like what I've been showing the entire time, like trippy colors and everything else, and then all of a sudden there's a cat giving birth, like it's
but
the
that's what.
it's the steamboat scene from like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. All of a sudden,
Were the chickens getting their heads cut off and stuff?
yeah. Oh,
It was and what was so, and obviously I was high, but the fact that the whole thing was okay. This video, what you said was this video is gonna make you feel like you're on LSD, and
hmm.
guess what? You were correct. Because I didn't know what I was seeing. I wasn't sure if what I thought. I was like, what I think I'm seeing cannot possibly be what he's showing me on Twitch right now.
Dude, it's a lot like the
You succeeded in making me feel like I was on acid.
it's
Congratulations.
I I don't think I can ever recreate that ever again.
Mm-mm,
I've
mm-mm.
officially reached past David
That
Lynchian
was that
you know
was a one and
geeks.
done. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm great. I must be the greatest, and if anything, our adventure today is going on the high seas is going to be a
Great.
great one.
You know
So
I love to adventure on the high seas.
yes, tee hee, tee hee. But yeah, it's about that time, buddy. Ready to set sail?
Let's do it.
All right, game on.
Oh, do I not even? You don't even have my camera right now.
Nope.
See, look at me. I'm too busy thinking about podcasting. And it's not even. I don't even know where it is. Well, we're off to a great start. I'll get it and point it at my face after I get your stream up right here.
No worries,
Uh,
dude.
awesome. I'm excited to set sail. What am I? Oh, those guys from Georgia.
Those guys
Hop
from
in my
Georgia.
Chrysler, it's as big as a whale,
And
and
it's
I'm
a
about to set sail. Yeah.
I got me a Chrysler. It seats about 20, so hurry up and bring your jukebox money.
Yes. Yes. Those
Fred, Schne-
guys.
Fred Schneider
Oh
rules, dude.
man.
Fred Schneider's great.
Uh yeah, was he the main brains
The main brains.
behind that group of bozos?
Mm, yeah. And again, welcome everybody to Thought That Was Weird. I of course am Thrash Cashew here with my dear friend, my extra host with the extra toast, Mr.
Huh.
CuyaDK. I think
Are
I
you? I
hmm?
Yeah, man, boy, wow. Yeah, that's me. I'm Koya DK.
Mm.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Are
Yeah,
you
but
live right now
yeah, I should be.
on Twitch?
I should be. Unless it's you know
Unless there's some lagging or you're not, or if there's some reason. Have you banned me from your Twitch channel? Oh
no
no,
there
now I see you.
okay.
It wasn't in my, yeah, I have refreshed the file. Sorry. Boy,
Okay.
I really on the day that I wanted to do a crossover,
You
I'm
scare me.
just especially high. All right, now I'm gonna go get my camera. I'll be right back. Look at
Sounds
us.
good.
Yeah. I'm ready to set sail on the high seas.
Yeah, we're Yep, we're setting sail once again.
We're my Fomor ancestors.
I of course,
Skilled
unfortunately,
well.
I made the poor decision once again to buy a boat
Toaster
from
boat.
Etsy. Um, yeah, it turned out to be the same assholes that sold me the time machine, and
Wait.
yeah, yeah, it turned out to be the same assholes that sold me the time machine, except they gutted it and just left it like a shell that I could just float in.
Yeah, so he sold you the same toaster,
I
the
got
same
sold the
time
same
machine,
I got sold the
back
same
to.
stupid toaster again. And I
Do
didn't
you
realize it.
know? Do you know the tale of Polygamus's toaster?
Polygamous toaster one. No, what?
uh, One
Okay.
time, the knob on his toaster broke, so he went and bought a new knob for the toaster, but he also put the old knob in a drawer. And
Mm.
then the next day, the springs broke, so he went and got new springs for the toaster, but he took the old ones and put them in the drawer. The next day, the heating elements broke, so he went and got new heating elements. Eventually, there was enough stuff in the drawer to build a new toaster. So, which one? Which
Build
toast?
an entirely new toaster.
Which toaster could be called Polygamus's toaster? Which one was really? What's the actual? It's somebody's ship. The ship of Prometheus. The ship of. Does that
I,
sound familiar at all?
I'm not familiar with
Does
that
even the
though.
story sound familiar? Oh,
No, none of that sounds familiar.
it's almost like a tropey silly, but it's there's at somebody's boat. Uh,
Mm.
Theseus, the ship of Theseus, is what that tale is actually called.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think I'm familiar with that one.
So, is there another toaster somewhere on this sea?
No, unfortunately not. But we should be careful. I'm starting to feel kind of the wobbliness of the boat. It's not really
It's
a very
not exactly.
it's not a
It's
very
not
good boat.
exactly a
It's not a very
clear,
no. This was definitely some
beautiful
false
day
advertising.
here.
No, but oh man,
The man. Whoa. The man.
ah!
The man who sold you this toaster. Whoa. Whoa.
Ugh,
Everything has gone black.
ugh,
I've come to on an island.
ugh.
This island is copy as a. I feel like. Do you know when you can see those weird floaty things floating around in your eyes on this particular? Are
Yeah,
you? Are you aware? Are you? You
like
came
a
to before
concussion
me.
eye.
You have a
What?
concussion?
No, I really don't. But no, I was
My
wondering if you were talking
concussion.
about concussions.
No, I'm actually talking about the kind of just the floater phenomena, like in Ozymandias. Like you look at the blue sky and there's weird alien animals floating in front of your eyes. It's like
Hello,
bacteria.
everyone. I am fine, thank you.
Yeah,
I love that guy.
I think that guy's in Omori, the RPG I'm playing.
I've never actually I haven't seen that series in such a long time. I really loved that show.
I almost feel like I wouldn't like it if I watched it. Like I
Oh,
don't know. Maybe I would.
Azumanga
I don't know.
Daioh.
I feel like yeah.
Oh, Azumanga
I
Daioh is
feel like
fantastic. It's a great show. It's really worth it.
kind of like, and it's almost. I'm trying to think of something that I would compare it to. It's almost sort of like how I feel like I wouldn't really. Yeah, how I feel like I would not sit down and watch The Office or Parks and Rec, probably. Like, I feel like it's kind of that sort of. I feel like, and it's just because, well, no, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I've absorbed all of those things. I was talking about how I've watched Dracula with Keanu Reeves like so many times that I can't even watch it anymore. It just washes over me, and I feel like, yeah, I don't know if it's that
Mm.
kind of thing, that kind of nothing vibe that wouldn't do it for me, or if I've just watched Azumanga Daioh 10 times.
Oh, I've
I
I've always really enjoyed that series. Like I forget all the characters' names except
Oh
for
man,
like what's up?
We never finished watching that tennis anime.
Oh yeah, no, that'll be this weekend or something if you feel
Let's
like it.
okay, sure. Yeah, if you're
Yeah,
feeling, yeah.
we'll talk
How's your
about.
sleeping? How's your energy levels?
I'm ready to go,
Now that we're on the beach, are you
man.
feeling
No,
recuperated?
yeah, I'm feeling a little bit more chill despite the fact that we're stranded here.
Hmm.
But at least like we have some resources around us. Like we got coconuts,
Bananas,
we got
cocaine.
and bananas, cocaine, and coconuts. Yeah, you know, which is maybe why I've actually absolutely evacuated my bowels to no
Oh,
return. But that's okay. I might have dysentery, but I think I should be okay.
maybe
Um,
that's the mysterious image I'm seeing is the stink lines.
but yeah, you know what, man? I unfortunately didn't bring I did bring the magical screen TV with us,
You
but
did all right, you got the all right, cool. Because
well,
let's
well,
look at yeah.
well, unfortunately, it fell into the ocean, so I'm gonna have to construct something really quick. So hold on.
Okay,
There you
of
go.
course, of course, it fell in the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful! I mean, that's John Locke. Eat your heart out. You've constructed a green screen out of bamboo. Very
Hello,
quickly.
Jack.
Do you remember that when that guy tried to build a church and it was like four sticks stuck in the ground?
Oh yeah.
It's like,
That was
this
intense.
is not even how you begin to build something. It never became a church. It was, yeah, Mr. Echo and Charlie were building a church and they were
Oh.
seriously just sticking sticks in the ground. I was like, what is even. I mean, and I don't know if it was like. I mean, the raft looked very professional when they built that raft. But then when they decided to build a structure, like, I just couldn't believe. I mean,
I love
it was
Mr.
like
Echo.
watching children try to build a church. I love Mr. Echo.
Mr. Echo's my favorite.
Yeah, I
I'm a
wonder if
big
I
fan of
feel
Mr.
like.
Echo.
Um,
Hmm.
is there another Mr. Echo?
There's Echo the Dolphin.
Oh, there sure is Echo the Dolphin. Yeah, I feel like for some reason, hmm,
Mm.
uh, we lost a member of the Lost cast
Oh
this week.
no, who passed away?
Lance
Lance.
Riddick
Yes, Lance. Yes. I forgot he was on Lost.
in a lot of awesome stuff and
Oh yes,
always
what?
really entertaining.
I
Mr. Abaddon on Lost.
if I may, to quote the Eric Andre show episode that he was on, I wish I were LeVar Burton. I wish I were LeVar Burton. Him doing the whole Kunta Kinte bit was
Oh, oh,
fantastic.
oh my God. I like yeah, really
Oh,
remarkable content is all I'm gonna say about what that was. And just a oh my God, amazing.
dude, I love that. I
Oh
love that man.
man,
I love
I'm
that man.
watching Picard. Season 3 is on.
Oh, really? How's that been going?
Mm. I'm digging season 3. There are blobs. Remember Blob Planet that I showed you,
You
where it
know
was
what?
just an ocean of.
I was actually just about to announce that on the Thrash Kaiju YouTube channel, we are releasing the Blob tier list tomorrow, and actually just this afternoon we released the rehearsal and there was one other episode we released today, but all the back tier episodes should be almost all the way up. I think I just am missing our phone weirds episode, which I'm getting
Okay.
to. I will get to once I get back.
Awesome, awesome.
Once I get back to shore, I will get at it.
Okay, sure,
If
good,
I live
good.
through this,
If
I
we
will get at
if we are ever rescued from if we're ever rescued from this terrible island and this smoky monster,
it. And all
this
this
smoky monster that we
this
cannot escape.
cocaine.
Yeah, so everybody search YouTube for Thrash Keishu and thought that was weird and check out our
Uh,
previous episodes of this. Yeah, let's
and
talk about Hank Schrader.
yeah, I didn't mean to click
Oh,
on that. I clicked on the wrong thing.
did we run the dad
Uh,
intro?
uh,
Let's talk about
no.
dad.
I somehow am able to again maintain Wi-Fi for this stream as well as have this intro clip right here.
Incredible
Bad
bamboo
dads.
contraption.
All dads are bad. Dads are being bad. Super bad dads. All dads are bad. Yeah.
Jamie Lannister, runner-up dad. All right, listen. We've
Mm.
got. It's getting repetitive, right? I'm not even. This isn't even a list of different characters anymore, and I've realized that like what I'm doing is exactly the kind of thing that annoys me, not only in fiction, but in analysis and just the way people behave. I'm just fucking repeating myself. Every dad is the worst dad. That's the conclusion I've come to. It's time to speed run the rest of the dads. The bad dad is not just a trope, it's an American tradition and almost an obligation at this point.
An
It's
obligation.
ridiculous. Dude, the dads in American media are terrible.
The dads in America. Whoa. That's a
Oh
pretty cool
boy,
song.
can that be get next season? That'll be the segment. Will be
We're
dads
just
in
doing the
America.
Super Dad Shuffle or the Bad Dad Shuffle. Like we'll do a whole bunch of '80s parodies with this, so we'll make it happen.
Yeah, Bad Dads 2, Electric Boogaloo coming 2024. Um,
Dude.
it's easy. Like that's
Mm.
it. It's easy. If you want to know that your character is a villain and like, you're Stephen King, you have your character murder his children or abuse his children
Mm-hmm.
or do a variety of terrible things, consume and eat the flesh of your children, right? All kinds of drinking your children's blood. I'm sure these are all things that happen in Stephen King novels. But on all kinds of, it's just such an easy character. And I'm
Mm.
starting to, let's speed run the rest of the dads.
All right. So next
So,
dad.
well, this is Dean Norris.
Mm.
Here's the thing. I fucking hate
Oh.
Hank Schrader. Hank
Okay.
Schrader is the character from Breaking Bad.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dean Norris is an incredible actor because of how much he's made me hate these two men. The other one is named Big Jim Rennie, who is on a TV show, a Stephen King property called Under the Dome. Here's the thing about the Stephen King universe at large.
Mm-hmm.
It is it's an incredibly common theme or trope or mechanic or whatever that people have a twinner. You go there's and in fact whole realities have twinners. Sometimes the structure of a book there's all kinds of twinning going on in the Stephen King universe. It's
Okay.
some fucking Elden Ring shit. I'm gonna have dude. There's some I gotta talk about Stephen King and Elden Ring. Anyway, I
Mm.
mean together and separately. Those are two things I'm very interested in. All right. So anyway, Big Jim
Mm.
Rennie and Hank Schrader behave exactly the same. Big Jim Rennie is a piece of shit to his kid, such a piece of shit that his kid shoots him in the shoulder, and his kid is the worst character. Let's not talk about the Rennies. We got a lot of dads to cover, but Dean Norris portrays the two characters exactly the same. Jim Rennie is a
Mm.
twinner of Hank Schrader, and one of the most famous classically bad dads ever is Denethor. I don't know if he has a last name or if Denethor is his last name.
Mm.
This guy is from the Lord of the Rings. He
Are you talking about
What's his situation?
next
Yeah,
dad?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This
This is
dude. Okay.
the hoary old gray-haired man drinking out of a goblet. This man is portrayed by the guy that plays Chucky, the little doll, Charles Lee Ray, the serial killer that
What?
voodoos his way. Yeah, this is oh man.
Oh,
I just
give me
watched
the
his
power, I
daughter.
beg of you. Yes.
Yeah, Mbe Dembula. I watched
Yeah. That's what.
his daughter all over the Stand miniseries
Oh
just
yeah.
now. What's the actor's name? Who cares?
Mm.
This guy was a piece of shit to one of his sons. Thought that his heir was gonna be this hero. His heir goes off and gets killed by being an idiot Boromir. Faramir comes back wounded, and Denethor is in such a grief that he's like, you know what? Everything sucks. I might as well burn every and someone Hugh Jackman, no,
Hugh Jackman.
the other guy, the other very manly man of the time, was coming for this guy's throne, and he was like, I'm gonna burn
Oh.
down my city. I'm gonna burn the other son that is still alive. I'm gonna burn him alive because I'm sick of being Denethor. So fuck Denethor. And then we have, of course, the worst dad. It's not even a contest. Here he is, Gendo Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion. We don't need to say anything else about Gendo Ikari. Just look at him. I don't know. You've seen Evan. You're familiar with Evangelion, kind of?
Yes, I haven't watched it in a minute, but I did
Sure,
see
sure.
the redubbing of it.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah. Okay, that's
that
right.
was an
We did
interesting
talk
watch.
about that. Even if you had never seen Evangelion, you've seen this image of this awful man. Fuck Gendo
Mm.
Ikari. We don't even need to get into
Getting
it.
the
A
fucking robot
whole
Shinji.
on Asriel level shit of a whole experiment to change the nature of reality and godhood, and we're gonna use my kids to do it.
Mm.
Let's not even talk about the White Dragon, Peacekeeper's dad. Peacekeeper, Peacemaker. The White Dragon is such a terrible dad. Uh, the shit he does to his kids when they're
Oh yeah.
children is beyond the pale. Let's not even. Yeah, let's not even.
Wait, White
He's
Dragon.
racist Iron Man. Yeah.
What
You
show is
did you
this?
watch Peacemaker? Peacemaker.
Oh, Peacemaker. I still haven't. Oh wait, that's yeah. That's
John
Peacemaker's
Cena.
dad. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh
Okay.
so I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now, even though I don't have an image to accompany this. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to tell you we were going to do a whole episode to break down these dads. Like I said, at this point it's just repetitive. Oh, hi. Yeah, hi, Heat and Sip. My camera is over on Thrash's screen where we do our. Yeah, and the images we're looking at. I should make that more clear with my little away message there. But yeah, the images we're talking about are on Thrash's screen. But hi, I hope you're doing good.
How's it going?
Um, Here's the breakdown. Here is the bad dads in order from worst to kind of okay. The worst one is Gendo Ikari, followed closely by Azriel Balakwa from his Dark Materials.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath him, a man we didn't really talk about called Destinova. Guilty of very similar crimes. That's from Battle Angel, that movie they made with the girl with the giant CGIs. Zeus follows them, then the White Dragon, then Denethor, and then Big Jim Rennie. I could kind of
Mm-hmm.
mention every abusive Stephen King dad, which is Jim Rennie
Yeah.
is almost an archetype. I mean, Stephen King just has these guys. I don't know. At some point, I'm going to talk so much about Stephen King. Underneath Jim Rennie is Nathan.
Mm.
And we've got some runners up, some men that weren't technically bad dads, but I hate them anyway. Those are Jamie Lannister, Light Turner, and Hank
Mm.
Schrader. Fuck all of those men. Fuck all of these dads. And I stand by my previous statements. All dads are, in fact, bad, and that about wraps it up.
Right on, dude. That's I gotta say that's an agreeable list of bad daddery right there.
That's it. They suck. It's an easy character to write. The villain is the guy's dad, and the guy's dad kills his sons or torments his daughters. Oh, Thanos. Thanos is underneath. Yeah, I asked you about any
Yeah,
other
you
ones we
said
talked about.
yeah, you did say Thanos.
Thanos is one step above Zeus and one step below Destinova. Thanos is the fourth worst.
Mm. Well, yeah, that's a hell of a list, dude. Like I've
Yeah, fuck those dads.
yeah, fuck those dads. They're terrible.
I don't want to meet any of those dads.
Now talk about your
I'm
dad. I want to
I'm
meet that
glad you're
dad.
not my dad. I'm gonna print a T-shirt that just
I'm
says
glad you're
I'm
not my
glad you're not my dad. Yeah,
that sounds great.
so
Now
happy.
now now available at CuyaDK.tv.
Glad you're not my dad.
Oh goodness, that's too funny. But so yeah, so before we got tossed off of our ship and deserted here, I had a subject for today I wanted to discuss as well. I me and my cults. I gotta have them. I gotta talk about them.
Yeah,
It like I it feels like It's almost like I've recently had an addiction to hunter sausage. It feel it's like mental hunter sausage for me. And
Hunters
it's like it's just beef jerky.
yeah, yeah. Is there a Scandinavian word?
I think it's a German style jerky of smoked meat of some sort, but it
There's
comes in
this
big packages
oh
at Costco, and I just got a whole bunch of them. And I just keep devouring
yeah.
those. Terrible for me, but
Maybe
absolutely delicious.
maybe it is a German. Maybe it is a German word. There's a fun
It
German
should
word
be.
for hunter sausage. Some variation of the
Oh,
word Jaeger.
it'd be like Jägerwurst or something like that.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not exactly Jaegerwurst. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know what you're
Oh
talking
man.
about, but yeah, it's something similar. But so today I wanted to introduce something I I've been dying to get back into discussing cults again, and I when bopping around, I ended up finding this fascinating topic for today. We are going to be talking about cargo cults.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the term?
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. Yo, Jaegerwurst is the German term for hunter sausage, and
Okay,
it's
cool.
not the thing I'm thinking of. Landjäger. That's the term. That's the Scandinavian term, which also means
Oh,
hunter sausage. Landjäger. Yeah. Okay.
Landjäger. Okay.
Yep.
Eh, Interesting.
I would love to eat some of that. I
Dude,
don't think I've. I haven't like
fantastic.
looked. I haven't looked at the smoked meats and cheese section of the grocery store in a minute. It's not. I haven't been drawn to the charcuterie.
Which we all learned about, and we also learned about foreskin cheese, which was great.
Ooh. Mm.
Which,
There's the
oddly enough, I didn't realize there's actually a brand called boar skin cheese.
like
Bour.
F U. Oh, vor.
No, B as in boy.
Oh, boar.
Boar skin. Yeah,
Bour.
boar skin cheese. It's like spreadable cheese. I don't know, but
Oh. Yeah.
a,
Okay.
a throwback to
Wow. Yeah. I feel like it might not really be pronounced like that,
is
perhaps.
it burskin?
Maybe not
Burskin.
exact. It might not
Angy
exactly
bingy
rhyme with
burskin.
foreskin. I kind of feel. I'm not positive. I
Uh,
feel like I know what you're talking about.
uh, but
Boy, I'm looking up a lot of cheese and meats.
mm.
Instagram advertisement is all going to be for charcuterie boards and foreskin.
But so today's topic we're going to be talking about there's a handful of different cargo cults that have been like kind of found throughout the years.
It's
It,
Borsin.
it's
It's
Borsin.
Borsin. It's Borsin.
Oh, I thought there was a K in there.
It's
Oh, I got all excited. I was
if
like, man, that's
only.
so funny.
Maybe,
I gotta tell Koya
maybe
about this. But
in some twinned universe, it is Borskin. Yeah.
but but anyway, we're there's an island in the northeast corner of Australia called
Yeah.
Vanuatu. So Vanuatu
Okay.
is a collection of islands known as was it archipelagos?
An
Archipelago?
archipelago.
Archipelago. Thank you. I thought I was pronouncing that correctly. Apparently, I was not. An archipelago. Yes, it
Is
is
that a
a.
series of volcanic islands?
Mm, yep, it's a collection of islands to the northeast of Australia. Its most notable island, though, is this little island called Tana. And Tana is this island of people that have basically um, withstood, like, uncontacted for like 3,000 years prior to any sort of European intervention. The first Europeans to end up on the island was in 1606 by a Portuguese explorer, and excuse my Portuguese, Pedro Fernandez de Queiroz, uh, who was looking for Australia actually, but he ended up establishing a small but not very long sustaining settlement on the island of Tanna, where he made
I'm
friends with.
sorry,
Mhm,
I don't mean to interrupt.
mhm.
Brad Dourif is the actor that played Charles Lee Ray, aka Chucky.
Oh, I see.
Brad Dourif rules. He's in everything. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
Please,
okay.
a
That's
settlement, a short-lived settlement on an Australian archipelago.
well, it's not. It's not. It's more of a like a oceanic like archipelago. It's pretty
Okay.
far off of Australia that the Australians didn't claim it. Although, so the Portuguese came, they made a little settlement there and kind of did some trading, and then they left. They didn't exactly. They kind of more or less like took advantage of the people and then left. It wasn't until 1774 when actually, you know what, I forget, I have a picture of our dear friend what was it, Fernandez, Pedro Fernandez de Queiroz, this
Oh
gentleman here.
wow.
Yeah, this dude's
That's the
dumb.
guy that's on the playing card.
He's on a playing card.
Isn't that the king? Did he modeled to be the
i
king on the playing cards?
I honestly don't know. That's interesting. I'll have to look that up. But it wasn't until 1774 when James Cook came by, and as expected by the British, they decided to colonize it, and it was within this. There was a not a real conflict, but apparently the French also wanted to stake claims on this little island. So it became like a big back and forth between people trying to take over Vanuatu, um, and it wasn't like bloody battles, but it was more like diplomatic battles. A lot of arguing about
Okay.
like what the laws were
There were
supposed
some,
to
yeah,
be, and
sure.
whether or not the islanders maintained
Squabbles.
citizenship and things like that.
A couple kerfluffles.
A couple kerfluffles, a few verbal arguments, some spats, if you
Sure.
will. But
Yo, some spats, yeah, some insult throwing, some venom
yes,
spitting.
but the British and the French maintained a mutual, although fairly weak, pact amongst themselves to duly run and own Vanuatu, and declared this place was it New Hebrides or New Hebrides? I couldn't find the pronunciation.
I think it's Hebrides. Yeah,
Hebrides.
I think
Okay.
it's Hebrides. I could be wrong.
Mm. But and what's interesting is that most of the initial like infrastructure on the island was basically set by Christian missionaries, and then you have the Isle of Tanna, who kind of withstood the Christian missionary stuff and kind of maintained their own culture and minded their own. Although we're still, brutalized and had their land and things taken from them. But again, they exploited people like for years, and took everything that they possibly could. But that kind of changed just a touch after a particular occurrence in France in 1940. I don't know if you're too familiar with France being taken over by the Nazis in World War II, but for those who aren't, the Nazis took over France. So
Hmm.
within the joint union that the British and the French had, um, the British basically were like, well, you got taken over, so it's, agreement's done and over with. We're not going to renegotiate. So yeah, that island's ours now, and basically took all the cookies from the cookie jar.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and it was in that time period that the World War is happening. You have Japan who just hopped in, like around like late 30s, like 1940s, give it like early 1940s. Uh, they hop in and they begin like this like huge push down south through like the Philippines and all the other like small collection of islands south of Asia. And it's within that moment that the Australians, who again are a British owned continent, are like oh crap, we got to start moving. They start pushing up towards the north and and end up like making some settlements and bases on the Isle of Tanna. And it's on these islands that you have all these random soldiers from all sorts of walks of life coming about, including American soldiers. And what was interesting is that a lot of the British soldiers, again, they didn't give citizenships to the people of Vanuatu, didn't give any sort of real help to them, but they took all their resources. Um,
Right.
So,
That sounds, yeah.
but you have these American soldiers that are coming in, and they're sharing tents with people of different races. They're, you know, being, friendly to the people of the tribe. And it was within this that it was recalled in a story from a oh goodness, where's that slide now? And it was covered in a documentary known as Waiting on John, or Waiting for John, excuse me. That I saw this
Okay.
interview with one of the last remaining chiefs of this island, and his story was that sometime in the late 1930s, a whole bunch of soldiers came onto the island, including this American soldier named John Frum. Now, nobody necessarily knows if that's actually this person's name, or if the Tana people misunderstood him as, his name was John from America, or
Okay.
it was also a possibility that his name could have been Prum with a P or Brum with a B as in boy. Uh, so this dude John comes to the island and makes,
John from America. Oh no.
John from America comes up and makes friends with all of these people on Tana, and and the last remaining chief recalled a story from his grandfather who first met John, and stated that John told him of all the advancements of American society, and about and about how the slaves were freed and things like that, and how people can live free. It was like it was like utopian to these people. They had metal rifles. They had food in tin cans. They had ballpoint pens, which was apparently was a really
Oh
hot
man.
commodity.
Yeah.
And then
If you've
airplanes
never
with
seen that
yeah,
before.
and then airplanes and
Yeah.
metal boats, like it blew them all away. So it was after this short encounter. It was like late 1930s. It was prior, and this is prior, mind you, to America's involvement in World War II. Uh, so John makes friends with the natives, and as he leaves, he goes, according, and this is according to the documentary from the chief. Uh, John basically said, like, hey, I gotta go, but hey, I've got all this stuff that I'm going to bring this stuff back to you. I got like refrigerators. We'll get you some new clothes. We'll get you everything y'all need. Just hang tight. And the
John from America.
yeah,
Yeah.
John from America coming with the goods.
Coming through. Yeah.
Right. So John ends up, leaving, and the town of people are like, again, they're disappointed and they wait patiently, but they believe that if they maintain their personal religious cultures, and they also included giving praise to the United States of America as well as John Frum, that one day all the cargo that they could ever ask for will come their way.
Did they put like a picture of an airplane on their altar, or do some of them, or is there some? Am I
Oh,
getting ahead
oh,
of you?
that's okay, but yes, we will be covering that. They make these
Oh
like sort of
yeah. I think
religious.
that's a neat touch.
They make these like religious like figures sort of, but yeah,
Yep.
they make them by hand, and they eventually learn that John, that again, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. So John leaves, and then come December of 1940 or 1941, that's December 7th of 1941, excuse me. Uh, the Japanese attack Pearl Harbor, and
Ah yes.
it's after the Japanese attack Pearl Harbor that, of course, the Americans get included into the Pacific Theater, and it's within that guess who returns with a whole bunch of good shit? John Frum.
John from America. All right.
Mm-hmm. So after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, sometime later in 1940, and the following year, in 1942, John Frum lived up to his promise and returned with boxes upon boxes of cargo of goods, guns, food, metal, other supplies, refrigerators. Somebody asked for a plane, and they almost gave him one. Like all sorts of crazy
Yeah.
shit. But they were like gifted and sold these things throughout the entire rest of the war. So again, a couple years passed. They maintain this like little settlement on the island, you know, with the Tana people, and the Tana people are forever grateful to John From. And John says like, okay, you know, here's this stuff, and we'll sell you this stuff on the cheap, but we gotta go. We can't actually bring this with us, so you're more than welcome to it. So, but you know, again, you have an ally in America. Don't ever forget that. And he leaves, never to be seen again. So, again, the islanders were just absolutely astonished by the kindness, um, the inclusiveness of the American culture, that they were like, you know what, we want our society to be like that too. We want to be, you know, strong, but we want to give, you know, equal rights to people. And you know, they basically give praise to their newfound savior. And again, they believe that maintaining their spiritual culture, along with giving praise to the United States, and along with John also showed them how to do military exercises. Uh,
Oh yeah.
so it's within that John showed them military exercises, and they themselves took it upon they took it upon themselves to give praise to John by doing these little military drills. They do these they take like bamboo shoots and fashion them into like little muskets, and then they do these like military walking uh um trials. It's
Bills.
ridiculous. Yeah, they're the drills. Thank you. Um, so the Islanders, again, they were absolutely blown away that this dude came back as promised, and so they believed that one day that this guy would come back again. And so again, they keep giving praise to John From. The Islanders also felt that in order to accommodate the potential U.S. forces coming to the Isle, they themselves would have to prepare their infrastructure to sustain them. So they start building uh, plane runways, and they erect these mock radio towers and fashion bamboo planes, and these sort of like, you know,
Yep.
political, not political, these are sort of religious figures.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty cool, right? And it's got a little cockpit on it
Yeah,
too, which is wild.
that's crazy looking.
But they do this to give praise to John from the Americans, and to show that they are ready to receive their gifts of planes and refrigerators and cargo.
Oh man.
Uh,
Planes and refrigerators.
and they also
That's
have
serious merchandise.
Oh yeah, and they also have like mock radio headsets that they made for themselves for when they're in these like little radio towers. It's like Gilligan's
Yeah.
Isle, dude. They got like coconuts attached to their heads. It's interesting. Um, but that was like their way of giving homage to John for, you know, his initial gifts. And what's interesting about that whole marching bit is also most of the higher up people within that group, they will be gifted American fatigues as like, you know, sort of like a rite
Okay.
of passage. And
Yeah.
and for those who don't have it yet, what they'll do is they'll paint USA across their chest, and then they'll go and do those military drills.
Wow, spooky.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And again, at the end of the day, they were a non-violent group. They didn't hurt anybody with their beliefs. They actually had a lot of political sway. They apparently, I think I didn't write it down, but I remember there was a bit that I read about where they paid Woodrow Wilson $1,000 to become their chief after he's done being president, which was interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, no word if he got back to them on that. I doubt it. But but yeah, they
Cool 100 thou in the 1940s. Wow.
yeah, man. But yeah, they and they had leftover, and again, they also still had leftover pieces of planes that they used after the Americans had left. Um, what was it? So what I found particularly interesting was because the cult again had a lot of political sway. They apparently had like a lot of run-ins with international law, particularly with people that were trying to take advantage of them. One situation in particular saw a Vietnamese woman in 2011 become like their head chief, and then uh, ended up in some sort of legal trouble with like the United Nations for like some
Oh.
sort of money scheme.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
but uh, but even before that, what I found fairly fascinating was when Vanuatu was trying to the main island, the main government of the island. They were trying to gain their independence from the British. Apparently, the cult was very against it because they were afraid that if they were they feared that forming like a centralized government around Vanuatu, they were afraid that the sort of Christian indoctrination that's kind of taken over the island due to the years upon years of British missionaries and French missionaries coming in and settling on the island. They were afraid that the Christian influence would take over their culture and absolutely wipe them out. And
Okay.
they were pretty much right. There's only to
Yeah.
this day about 500 remaining cult members. This is one of the last remaining chiefs. He has like two sons, I believe, and one of them is due to become the next chief of the
John
John From.
from.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, and what's actually fairly interesting too that I read was because
And
John From
they believe that John from is going to return
he's
still.
going to return with the goods and that America is the ultimate good in
Yeah.
the world. Yes,
All right.
but then
I agree.
but apparently they also still on the island have a celebration known as John From Day, which is
Yeah.
February 15th. It's like their Easter. So February 15th is believed to be the day that John from Messiah will return with the necessities that they need to live amongst the advanced nations of the world. And they do dances, they have feasts, they raise the American flag every single day. And they also raise like the U.S. Marine Corps flag every single day. It's it's an intense faith, but again, they're a non-violent group. So again, this is probably like this and M2Pism, I think, has probably been the most easygoing cults that we've actually covered on the show.
Yeah, I agree. I mean it's all yeah. M2P is almost a whole different category. Almost. Almost.
It's more it's yeah. I mean, I think it's a
It's
whole
a
different
little
category.
spaghetti-ish. You know?
A little what?
Spaghetti-ish.
Spaghetti-ish, yeah. A little flying spaghetti monster-ish, yeah. This
Yeah,
is
a
like
little bit,
the
you
real
know,
deal.
yeah. A little sillier, yeah. It's like it's on the edge. M2P is on the edge.
Indeed. But yeah, so that is the John from Cargo Cult. And again, to this day, there's probably about 500 members that still remain, but the Islanders again still celebrate every single year John From Day. I actually just read like an article about like how they still do it. It's wild to me. But again,
All
I
right.
yeah,
I hope John from America. I hope he comes.
I hope one day it comes for them as well as everybody's John From comes for them one
I hope John from comes for me.
day. It gives me an airplane.
As he will come for us all. I would like a refrigerator.
I would like a refrigerator airplane. That would be cool.
Yeah. That must be a thing, right?
I
They
think I
must
think
have to fly like steaks around or whatever.
I
How
think
does Fiji?
I was gonna say I think Tesla was developing that until they bought Twitter. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Elon Musk. Anyway,
And now they're not going to develop anything else ever again because all of his
mm,
companies are going to fail. He'll get bailed out by
yeah,
the government.
yeah, sounds about right. Bastards. But yeah.
Eat
So
my
you
ass, Elon Musk.
agreed. I'm glad I'm on this island, not even thinking about him.
Yeah. Look at
But
this beautiful glass beach. Look at this beautiful beach of gemstones that we've come across.
yeah, that's gorgeous, man.
Look at look at
So
all of these precious jewels, various minerals, the bounty of the earth. It reminds me of Narnia when they meet the whatever the creatures, whatever the race of men or dwarves that lives below the earth. They're always eating these glorious living gemstones like fruit that are always glowing and probably very delicious if you're a gnome or whatever. This is not, these are not gemstones. This is human garbage.
Wait, that's wait, those are glass bottles, or is that
That's
like?
pieces of bottles.
Oh my God!
This is in California. This is Fort Bragg Beach. And
Holy
yeah,
shit!
throughout whatever kind of swirling eddies out there in the ocean. This is where, when a lot of trash breaks up out
Hmm.
there, a lot of, for whatever reason, all the lot of bits of glass, well, they get tumbled and washed and polished, and
Mm.
then they end up on this beach, which is just pebbles of broken glass. Gross.
Wow, that's an intense
Not.
beach.
I have a couple beaches here that we're gonna look at
Oh yeah, sure.
for the audience.
Yeah.
Not all of them are depressing garbage, but this one is.
Hmm.
The next one is in the Maldives. The Maldives. Do you know where that is? I don't.
Maldives. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
familiar with the name of the area. Is that an area or is that a country? That's like a particular part of a country, isn't it?
I have no idea. I feel the I in my head it's a series of islands, the Maldives.
You know what? It's so funny. Like
I
every time,
bet. I
every
mean,
time.
I kind of think it's the name of a country.
What country
Go
owns
ahead
the
though.
Maldives? The Maldives Islands is actually an independent nation, known as the Republic of
Yep.
Maldives. So
There
no
we
other country
go.
owns it. Okay, they gained their independence
It's
in
an
1965.
archipelago.
Yes, and it gained its independence in 1965 from
Congratulations to the
from the British.
Maldives.
Yes, happy
From the
Independence Day.
British. Good.
Good riddance.
Here in our America cult, we still are bad at the British. But really, the British
Hmm.
probably should not have gone and owned the whole world, probably.
Which is
This
why I
is
feel
phytoplankton on this
yes.
beach. Glow in the
Yep.
dark phytoplankton. I would like to see this glowing blue beach.
A bioluminescent beach, like walking on sunshine a little bit, I think would be grand. I would love to see
Little
something like
tiny
that.
creatures.
Yeah, it's interesting too. Is that like it's when they move they begin to like illuminate it. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, like is it like so like as the wave washes them in, does the wave begin to glow and
Mm-hmm. I also saw something like where somebody like agitated water and they began to glow like around their hands, like that sort of trippy shit.
okay, that's cool. That is trippy shit. Yeah.
Indeed. But yeah.
Uh
Next one.
yeah, next one I
Is
think is
it?
not that interesting. I'm not sure. It
I'm not.
feels like it.
I was gonna ask. This isn't you know whose island is it? Like I saw the little mansion pad on the top of the mountain there, and I got scared. I wasn't sure if
You don't mean, I mean, do you mean the guy that Hillary killed Bob Saget with a hammer because of?
yes.
This is I no, this is the Bahamas.
Oh,
And
okay.
I almost feel like it feels like I'm setting you up for something. Like it feels like I'm gonna say, this looks like a very boring beach. But
But it's
actually,
not.
this is human fat tissue that has but this is just a pink sand beach in the Bahamas that's
It's pink
a
sand.
little bit it's a little bit pinker than the beach we're on right now. I don't know why this one made the list. I was very high. Not
Wow,
that
man,
weird.
that beach
I
is
this,
pink.
I don't have a punchline. It's not even the guy's island. Get this Bahamas beach out of my dominion. Let's look at the Morokai boulders,
All
the
right.
dragon eggs at
Yeah,
Koe
those looked
Koe
really
Beach in
cool.
New Zealand. I'm sure I have mispronounced something. These are boulders that have been eroded by the tide that were of soft limestone that naturally formed into very beautiful formations.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
The
those are
next,
cool, man.
they're neat, right?
Yeah, I really
The
dig
next one
those.
the next couple I threw in just for you. I wondered if
You know,
this gave you any kind of feelings.
dude, I mean, for God, there was like a a phobia I remember reading about, like people who have phobias of things that are porous or have holes in them. Like I
Sure, that's
immediately thought about
trypophobia
somebody
probably.
having like a panic attack looking at this.
Looking at
Um,
this is called the Giant's Causeway, which is in Ireland.
I've never seen this before, but like the little hexagonal stones are like super wild. I like it.
That doesn't This doesn't give you feelings of Death Stranding,
I get some
aren't
serious
there?
Death Stranding feelings for sure.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I'm definitely I'm afraid of the little dude about to pop up and tell me that there's BTs around.
Is there like I feel like yeah, because there is there this kind of landscape in Death Stranding, or am I kind of not,
No,
or are there just kind of
there's a
stones
lot of
like this in little patches?
there's
Or
stones
nothing like this.
very similar in that sort of patch, and it also I can also see
Okay.
how it looks like the how the time fall looks like it's puddling inside of the things, and it looks like black. Like yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah. I gotta play that game and look at it again. Yeah, I think it's sort of I think
so
that what
good.
they're trying to indicate with all these sort of different kind of rock structures being in America is that the time fall has caused erosion to take place very quickly instead of over millions of years, over just a few years, and that's why. Because this is not giants did not build this. This is due to very specific erosion of these stones on this beach. Something about science.
Something about
I really honestly I realized that I had begun to make up all that as I was going along. You know, sometimes I
yeah.
just get locked in, sometimes I just start to I don't know what's going on in Death Stranding, but I feel like I remember
Mm.
similar landscapes to this.
Oh yeah.
But it really I want to
There's
play that
definitely
game again.
do it up, man.
Yeah.
Like dude,
It's that's a good one.
I'm doing a hard mode run of it. It's
Yeah.
super worth it. Yeah.
You immediately picked up. Is it like a new game plus? Do you carry over any?
You actually don't get a new game plus.
You just get hard mode.
You just either finish up your initial run on hard mode, or you start over again with and on hard mode pretty much.
Sure.
So I'm probably gonna be doing that tonight. I'm thinking about it. I ended up like a doofus. I played a stream. I'm trying to remember how long of it, but it was like 4 hours long, and I accidentally muted myself through the entire stream. It's funny.
Of course you did. Yeah,
I
that's a
always do that.
classic.
Classic me.
Yeah.
Classic tag.
Twitch.tv/thrashkeishu.
Mm,
KEIISHU.
thank you. But yeah. So
What else washes up on the beach?
is
Uh,
this the same beach, or is this a
yeah, this is the Giant's Causeway again. I think in the distance here, these when some of the pillars, the hexagons are actually they actually look like pillars. I think that's some of their areas in Death Stranding that make it look
yeah? There's
are
like a
more
lot
like
of
that
like
when they're more vertical.
yeah
Yeah,
when you're like in the western portion of the map, and there's like little craggly rocky areas. Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, that's really cool looking, man. I really dig that.
Neat place, Giant's Causeway, Ireland.
I have to remember that. So when you sent me this, I had questions.
What are your questions?
Who, what, where, how, and why?
There is an image on the screen of a bunch of seaweed on a beach and many well worn out pieces of Garfield telephones from the 80s. This is a beach in France. I had an article pulled up, and now I don't, because
I hate when
as
that
we
happens.
discussed, I am unprepared. But
We're
if you
unprofessional
bear with, but
professionals.
anyway, as you can tell, this is a beach where throughout the years since the 80s, in fact, yeah, the title of the article I read was titled Garfield Phones Beach Mystery Finally Solved After 35 Years.
Are
For
you kidding?
35 years, a French coastal community has the God, of course the thing pops up. The
Hmm.
Iroise Coast in Brittany?
Hmm.
Iroise. There's no way I'm pronouncing that right.
Oh, by the way,
Someone once told me
where's the article from?
the BBC.
The BBC. Very good.
Um, Someone once told me that my French, of all the languages that I butcher, my French is particularly offensive.
Fair.
So the Irois, the Irose, the Irois, the Ewok.
Agua?
Jesus Christ! Now I'm making fun. The Irois coast in Brittany. Yeah. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Orange pieces of plastic, some of which are whole chunks of Garfield phones, have been washing up there for
Oh no.
35 years, and only just recently, yeah, only just recently, there are some photos. This is not a photo.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the image I'm looking at it's a thumbnail of a YouTube video, so I'm not sure exactly how I would show it to you best. But anyway, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a bunch of the actual handsets just laid out, about 15 of them.
Oh
So
my
like,
gosh.
yeah,
Well,
tons and
I
tons
mean,
of,
there's this one where it shows the kind of the little headset portion,
yeah, yeah.
receiver portion.
Yeah, so the image that was the thumbnail of the YouTube video was just about 15 of those headsets just lined up on the
Jeez
beach.
Louise.
And yeah, so eventually 35 years later, just a couple years ago, divers were, poking around, which is popular, and they finally found, like, tucked into like an underground, not exactly a cave, but a little indented area where the waves just would wash, the underground current or the underwater current would wash in and wash
Hmm.
some things out of this cave up to the surface, and there was a shipping container that was lodged down there with a crack in it.
Wow,
Full of Garfield phones, and they were just perpetually washing up onto the beach.
dude, that's fuck.
Mystery solved. Kind of neat.
That's pretty
Garfield
neat.
Beach.
We
Would
can
you
hitch.
rather?
Mm?
What were you
I was
going
gonna say
to?
we can hitch a ride to Garfield Beach.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Terrible.
Um, if you lived near a beach and a strange object was going to be washing up there all the time, would you rather it be pieces of Garfield phones or human feet in shoes?
Um, uh, Me personally, I prefer the Garfield phones, but
Yeah, me too. You're
I
right.
assume
That's
that
that's correct.
we're by this image that we're not gonna be talking about more cute things coming to shore.
Now, this image is just a picture of a shoe. Just to be clear, the picture on the screen is a picture of a dirty shoe on a beach. However, there you may have you ever heard of this phenomena?
No. I mean, I've heard of handfuls of body parts washing up on a shore. So like, I grew up in a lakeside town, like right off
Okay.
the border of Canada,
Okay.
and yeah, my mother would ended up telling me a story. She used to be on the swim team, and they would go swim in the lake in the morning for practice because it was a little bit more difficult, more of an exercise. So apparently, her and her swim team, ended up finding a murdered body while they were doing their swim training, and
Wow.
yeah, I had to call the cops. Like, we're part of the investigation. It was on the news, and that's not the only there's there's a couple of mysteries revolving around the lake that I live next to, and I unfortunately will probably never talk about those because they're a little bit too graphic for our general
Yeah,
discussion.
actually, honestly, I got a couple of those too. Yeah, I got at least two that are just beyond.
Hmm.
Well, one of them's but I got it. There's definitely there. I'm sure there's at least two. There have been some. Yeah, there's been some violence near
Oh,
where I live.
oh, dude, absolutely. Same
Yeah,
here.
good
A
God.
lot of mob violence.
Oh, sure, that's what you got.
We
Okay,
were right next to Canada, so we were a very big prohibition town,
okay,
and we got a lot of shipments in over here
okay.
quite often. Couple of bars that I used to frequent used to tell ghost stories about how the rum runners are still living in the building to this day, sort of shit.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But
Secret basements.
secret basements with secret walls, and they show me the secret panels and the little little hatch you'd have to go down.
Oh yeah, full of graveyard shift rats.
Ugh. Oh,
Brad Dourif was in Graveyard Shift.
Brad Dorff. I don't think I'm familiar. Oh,
Oh, Brad
the
Dourif is the guy, Denethor Chucky.
yeah, Chucky. Yes, yes, yes.
He's in the Graveyard Shift, the rat movie, where
Mm.
he has just a horrifying scene in that movie.
And again, I'm sorry to go on that long tangent. So about these shoes ending up on the beach. What exactly is this? What brought this about?
This happens in the on the northwest coast of America and British Columbia. It happens, in the area, yeah, that area, the northwest, and this is the kind of thing that I think, sort of, as the sort of internet kind of grew, you kept kind of hearing about there would be a specific beach where, like, feet, they kept finding feet in shoes, and it was so weird. Like, did a bunch of feet, where did these
Wow.
feet come from? Fucking feet, right? And
Wow.
it's one of those sort of weird, uh not exactly an urban legend, because it does happen, but it's one of those things where it kind of gained a momentum as, people were like, why are these feet washing up on the shore, until some scientists had to say, like, well, actually, like, it's honestly, it's just a good place for feet to end up, kind
Hmm.
of the same way that the glass ends up on Fort Bragg. And this
It's
is,
like right current.
it's close. It's the right current. It's close to the Arctic Ocean, where there are a lot of, not the Arctic Ocean. Is that, no? Yes,
The
the Arctic Ocean. Antarctica is below,
yeah,
but Arctic is anyway. It's
yeah,
cold. It's cold and frozen, and there's people fishing for crabs
yeah.
and doing dangerous things out in the ocean, and a
Missing
lot of,
limbs.
and if there are accidents, a lot of feet end up near Seattle, because, really, if a
Hmm.
body is decomposing while drifting around the ocean, the part that's most likely to stay intact is the part that is all wrapped up inside of a shoe. Like, the shoe is the most containing article of clothing. Your shirt and jacket
Hmm.
and pants are going to degrade, but your shoe is strapped on there with laces and Velcro or whatever. And so, really, just bodies tend to decay, and their feet just tend to end up inside their shoes, and they wash up on the beach in Seattle. So, if you're
Absolutely
out,
will.
if you're taking a brisk oceanside walk in the northwest, keep your eye out for feet.
So I that's just bewildering. It's just like I don't know. Once again, like it just makes me. It's like saying that there's like such a mad amount of like how many legs like particular like it's like feet. Why not hands or arms or torsos? Like it's just
Well,
feet.
because because feet are in your hands aren't in a very thick fabric wrapped rubber soled
Yeah,
whole thing that straps and contains them together.
this is true.
It's because of the shoe, is what I'm saying, is the reason
Right.
that feet, and the whole reason that feet end up there.
It's
The
the
whole reason
buoyancy of the
feet in
shoe.
shoes end up there is because of the shoe, yeah.
Interesting. Dude, that's so. Hi, Faye. You yelling
Yeah,
at me?
kitty.
Kitty's yelling at me. All right, I'll feed you as soon as we're done here, okay? I'll feed you when I get back to shore. Why are you here? How did you make it here? Did you swim here? I think my cat swam here.
So
Sorry. Anyway, what?
cats traditionally are adverse to water.
I'm quite shocked too. She doesn't like taking a bath. Oh, but you'll just go on an island vacation. I see how it is.
Oh, well, it's vacation time.
Yeah, she thinks it's vacation time while we're here
She's
stranded.
going fishing.
How about you go get help, Faye? Go find help. Thank
Build
you.
a go build a raft.
Go Gilligan's Isle it right now, please. Use your cat powers. Stop scratching stuff. Anyway, so this last one, I was intrigued by this. I have no idea what this is supposed to be.
Well, here's my final proposal. Instead of dads, what if we do a monster of the week?
I'm always out for interesting monsters. That sounds like a good time.
This one involves the beach,
A beach
so it's
monster.
thematic. It's
And
not really a beach monster.
okay.
Do you have any familiarity with any stories of, like, people being stuck to a horse that drowns them? Because that's the punchline, kind of.
No,
But
I've never heard of
you have
that.
it. That's not it. Yeah, it happens in the British Isles all the time,
Are you
like
kidding me?
crazy. Oh my God, it's called the puka. I talk about the puka a lot. That's one of the reasons I decided we would lead with this one. But
The puka.
it's a very common mischievous spirit. Um, there's all kinds of different spellings. Sometimes it's the fuka, like Phooka.
Interesting.
Some of the most basic and earliest spellings are PWCA and
Hmm.
BWCA. Weird mashup. That honestly, uh, I think one of those is Welsh. They might both be, but
Interesting.
but the pukas are all over the British Isles, and sometimes it's just like a little elf or a goblin that either cleans up around the house or maybe does some kind of mean prank if you like offend the earth or whatever.
Like Dobby
Um,
sort of thing.
sure, yeah. As a matter of fact, no. As a matter of fact, like the idea of house spirits is
Mm.
directly became enslaved house elves. Come on, come on, damn it.
Um,
But no, literally,
yeah.
that is the and but the puka is one of a
Mm.
number of type of fairy creatures that behaves in that way that might inhabit a house or
Interesting.
an area of the forest or whatever. But one of the most notorious behaviors that they do.
Mm.
And there's also a thing, there's also a river horse called a kelpie, which I'm not sure if it might sometimes
Kelpie.
do this. The kelpie will definitely come out of the river and just devour a traveler in
Dude,
Ireland.
just
The
devour.
water horse.
Jeez.
So the puka is a shapeshifter and it turns into a horse, and sometimes it rides through town. Sometimes on Christmas, sometimes on Halloween. I guess it likes to come out to
Hmm.
have a party at the holidays. Uh, sometimes it rides through town and calls the names of sinners at night. Do you remember when I said maybe I'll do a piece just about a bunch of monsters that call your name at night? It's really mostly this guy. The reason I started talking about the puka so much years ago is
Mm.
that there was a cat in this neighborhood, and I started feeding it, and eventually I stopped feeding it, and he's kind of gone away, but he still comes here. But he would
Mm.
come. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I fed him once, like in the winter, because he was wandering around, and it was the winter, and it was
Oh,
a mistake. Because then he came back forever. But he would come to my window, and
Melissa
he
Etheridge
meowed.
style.
He meowed like this. Hello,
Oh,
hello. I swear to God, it was like Friday the 13th shit.
dude.
So
Yeah.
So I called that cat the puka, but in Ireland and Wales and other parts of the British Isles, not as funny as that. Well, that was scary, but it became cute when I figured out that it was a cat that had been taught. I don't know, maybe in my mind someone was like teaching him how to talk.
That's so
That
weird, man.
probably is not the case. He probably just had a weird meow. But the puka becomes a horse, rides around town. Sometimes it
Mm.
does that. Sometimes it calls the sinners to it, and the sinners, are compelled to come out and get onto the horse. But sometimes it just rides around. I think particularly on Halloween,
Hmm.
it rides around, and if it sees children, it's like it looks so friendly that the children maybe they're compelled, but they climb onto its back.
Hmm.
And as you can see in the illustration,
Dude.
the ending of any of this type of story is that the people or the children that are riding the puka find that their skin is stuck to it, and it rides into the sea and drowns them and maybe devours them.
Wow.
Yeah, don't go to the British Isles.
No. Have we learned? Wow. Don't ride a horse you don't know.
Yeah, dude, that's the moral of the story. Do not ride a horse you don't know. And if a horse is in your front yard calling your name, Jesus Christ, go to bed.
Oh my God, that's
Don't go
petrifying.
ride it. Could you imagine? Could you imagine hearing your name and being like not sure if you were hearing things? Like you've just woken up. It's two
Hmm.
in the morning. You're not sure if your mind is playing tricks on you. You thought you heard someone calling your name. Then you kind of hear something again and you're kind of like, well, that surely was the wind or something. Kind of sounded like my name.
Hmm.
And you pull back the curtain and you look out onto the front yard and there's a horse
I'd be petrified. Like
calling you out.
it's like the episode of
Oh,
Adventure Time. the
with a weird moose. Is there a
no,
scary
no,
moose?
no, it was the horse that it was the Ice King dressed up like a horse, and the horse.
Oh, I
Hey
don't
man,
recall
that horse
that.
looks like it's got the poo brain. But
Horses are scary. There's a clip for
horses
of
are
Adventure
scary.
Time. I think it's from Adventure Time that I always see. That's like meme level, where
Hmm.
it's like I think it's like an anthropomorphic like deer, but he's got little tiny hooves. He like takes the hooves off, and they're like little gloves, and he has little
Yeah, I've
human
seen
hands that
that.
he. Is that Adventure Time? I
That
don't.
is
Yeah.
also Adventure
Anyway,
Time, man.
it's a meme level GIF. Yeah,
Dude, that
that
shit's
is
funny,
around all over the place. Yep.
dude.
Um. Yeah, so Thrash, I've started a podcast. This is the
Hmm.
crossover episode. I'll have you on it. Let's think of, we'll talk about, yeah, some, maybe it'll be, I mean, unless you want to do Game Set Machu Picchu as, I thought that was a weird thing, that's surely
What?
fine. But I mean,
Well, we
I
can.
would
Well,
like to watch something together or read something together and
yeah.
then discuss it as a podcast.
I had a
Off, not
yeah.
live.
I had a couple of things I was thinking about. I was going to talk. I uh
It
um
could maybe be one of the things that didn't quite make the cut that was like a little too raunchy for Twitch, but please, if you're going somewhere, please let me
well, yeah,
continue.
I was gonna say there's a an animator called Umami that I've been really digging on lately. He does this like
Okay.
really grainy, like really like pixelated art style, and he's he's got this like really weird full length feature that he made, and it's like an hour and a half long. It's really weird. He's been on Adult Swim a handful of times, but like that's a short
Okay.
one that we can cover along with like the Game of Statue Machu Picchu stuff.
Yeah, we can cover
But
just a bunch of weird
weird,
Adult Swim or just animate. We can do just an episode
yeah,
about weird animation we want to talk
hmm,
about. Yeah, which
yeah.
is what we do.
Yeah. I was also hoping to. I'm contemplating getting a hold of a gentleman by the name of Drew Langlois, who
Julengua.
yeah, he does a series called How to Stay Positive at during the apocalypse or something like that, and then he also does another
Okay.
show called oh fuck I gotta look it up again. I'm such a fan of the show, but I took so much of that distillate. I'm still goofy. Um, why am I not? Dudes of Hazmat. That's what it was.
Oh yes, we've talked
I
about
think
that.
we're
Yeah,
talking. Yeah,
sure, sure,
yeah.
sure. Yeah, we could take a look at that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I would love to. I would love to cover these because they're stupid funny. They're stupid good. Um, for those that haven't watched, like we might do a watch session in Discord, and
Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
y'all
Yeah.
can come along and hang out. But yeah.
And oh, and incidentally, at some point I am gonna there was this the game I'm talking about, Vampire the Masquerade, there was a TV show, believe it or not, produced by Aaron Spelling in the late 90s. And at one of these Saturdays I'm gonna show a couple episodes of that. So maybe we'll even do a dual watch party and then have stuff to talk about, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be fun. We'll watch a whole bunch of weird stuff. Like yeah, I'm all about it. And then we'll bring it to the Ultimate Forum Twitch.
All right.
All right, and then well
And
first
today, yeah.
yeah, but first
Okay.
man, we need to get off of this island. I'm
Oh,
gonna
good. Oh, look,
uh
a cargo container
what?
boat. I hope those containers are not full of Garfield phones or feet.
Oh wow, that's awesome. But I guess Faye actually did get us help.
All right, yo, good kitty.
Yeah.
She found a large container ship to come and rescue us. Couldn't is that going to be able to pull up
Uh,
onto the beach?
yeah, I'm sure it should be able to, or maybe we could swim out to it. But I'm wondering is like who got the call?
I think it was probably.
Oh,
I reckon it was Penny. Oh no!
oh.
Oh,
Well, at least he was cool
it's
enough to
that
come pick us
rotten
up.
baguette again. I'm not even gonna. I'm not looking at it. I always. It's always that guy. Of course. I mean,
Yeah,
how? I mean, what? I mean, yeah. I
there's
can't
no that.
even. I am surprised at myself for being surprised. There he is again. Just
If it still shows that I am absolutely
like
incapable of
like a
making meat
bad petty.
wraps. It's like Batman. You know, I
Here
should have
comes
done that and have him like,
Captain Baguette.
you know, I'll have to like quickly make like a Charlie bad gag. He's got his hand against the window, not Penny's boat.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, 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 exactly.
dude. Well, oh man, that's so funny. All right. Well,
Captain Baguette.
before we get picked up by Captain Baguette, I should see amongst everybody else who's are you gonna be streaming for a little while longer or
I'm not going to be today. No.
oh okay. Well then I'm gonna see if we can raid out to my dear friend Mr. Crater Creator. He's playing some Slay the Spire. I can't get enough of the
Okay.
game. So but yeah, I'll send everybody over that way and I'm gonna take a little break while we get to shore, and I'm gonna probably eat something and drink something because we've obviously been here for days upon days. It's only been an hour and a
Talking
half
about beaches.
talking about
What's
beaches. Mm-hmm.
is it Crater Crater creator?
CR8R underscore
Ah,
CRE8R.
CR8R
Underscore.
underscore C CR8R underscore Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know, right?
CR8OR.
Mm-hmm. What?
That's it.
CRE8R. E as in elephant.
Creator.
Mm-hmm.
CR8R underscore CRE8R.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I don't know how many people are viewing either of us, but I'm
Nah,
coming
that's
along
neither
with
me
you.
either. But
We'll do the raid.
yeah,
Um,
and everything, every little bit helps, right?
yeah.
So let's see if this actually works. But yeah, thanks to everybody for watching, and thanks to everybody for hanging out, and you know, hopefully you too will one day have your John From, whether it be a baguette or uh a big honking pile of hunter sausage. But
Hopefully, John From will come for us all.
John From will come for us all. All right, let's see if this raid works out. Raid has been created. Yay! All right, we're getting out of here, gang. Have a good one. Enjoy Creator. Eat your veggies. Peace.
All right. So yeah, I wanted to, if I want to do a.
Mm-hmm.
So that was thought that was weird.